So when we do an SBL question, we need to make sure we're answering it in the correct manner. So here's 3 steps to help you do that. Step 1, cover the key points. So the key points are the most important points, obviously, but what you have to do is also say why it's a key point. Why is it relevant? Why is it important? And to do that, you're going to be using the scenario, aren't you? You're going to be taking the relevant information from the exhibits and say, look, this is why I think it's important. This is why it's relevant. This is what's in the exhibits. So cover the key points, but always say why it's a key point. Step 2, do not waffle. No massive long paragraphs that go on forever. Be professional. So when you're talking about things, talk about them within the scenario. So what it means is if you went to see an accountant about your particular tax issue that has something to do with trusts or something, and the accountant just starts waffling on about trusts that are nothing to do with yours, but he just wants to show off his knowledge, you're not going to be very happy. So that's what you've got to do in the exam. You've got to really keep your knowledge down to the specific point in hand. And always be commercially sound. So there's no point saying things that just don't make commercial sense. So if you're trying to get rid of the risk of debtors, you don't suddenly say, oh, I'll ask them to pay tomorrow then, because that's just not commercially sensible, is it? So no waffle. So nice short paragraphs, make one point, move on, explain the point, be professional, be commercially sound. And then the final step, make sure you know who the report is for. In the last exam, there was a report that was for the employees, going to the employees. So instead of talking about how we are going to help you, lots of students said how we are going to help employees. Now you're already writing to the employees, so be careful with that, but also be careful about get the tone and content. So if you're talking to an accountant, you don't have to explain accounting concepts. But if you're talking maybe to the board as a whole, maybe you do. And you have to be a little bit more formal when you're writing to the board than you would if you were writing to colleagues, etc. And get the format right, So if it's asking for briefing notes, do briefing notes. If it's asking for slides, do slides, obviously. Okay? Good luck.